Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is November 18th, 2024. We are in the Old Testament book of Isaiah. We're reading through it again. We did it early in the year. We're going to read it again now. Difference is we've got all those other prophets in between that we've read. So we started with Isaiah, and that informed how we read the prophets. And after reading those prophets, that's going to inform us reading Isaiah again. Isaiah here in chapter 6 is going to tell us about his call to be a prophet. Which was done in a vision. Some of the prophets had a vision, especially the ones that preached for or that prophesied for a long time. Some of the ones that just had one message, we didn't really get a story of how they were called. Neither here nor there. What I would say is most of the ones that we do have a narrative of how they were called match up with Isaiah pretty good. Compare that to what we see today, where people that claim to be prophets, Jesus came to my house and he had coffee, and because he wanted to hear me tell him jokes, because he thinks my sense of humor is so. That's not what I get in my Bible. What I get in my Bible is what we're getting with Isaiah here, where he starts to have this vision and he realizes where he is, that he's in heaven, and then he realizes he's in the throne room and he's on his face thinking, oh my goodness, I'm going to die. Because I'm in a glorious place before the most holiest God, and I'm a lowly sinner, and I should be wiped out and destroyed here. And it's by the grace of God that he sends an angel to give, in this case, put a coal on his lips that cleanses him and says, okay, now you can speak for me. Now you can go out and speak for me. But Isaiah never loses his fear of the Lord. He never loses his respect for the Lord. None of the prophets in the Bible lose their respect for the Lord. They understand God is holy, 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 and we are not. There's I can't approach God other than in a vision or a dream, or I will die, because I'm a lowly sinner, and that's what God cannot stand, is sin. But in our case, God comes to him in a vision, and again, that coal on the lips, he says, okay, now you can speak for me. I'm going to charge you to speak for me. You have to tell the truth. You have to tell the people what I say. It's probably not going to be very well for you, but you know what? Your reward is going to be with me after you're done, so keep at it. Tells Isaiah, you know what? Your message is going to go to everybody, and they're not going to listen to you. They're not going to pay any attention to you except for maybe a tenth of them. And we see all the way through that's pretty close. Even when the people repent, they go right back to their sin, and God has to send another prophet, and they repent for a little while, and they go right back to their sin, and we just see the nation getting smaller and smaller until we have that remnant at the first century that's waiting for something to happen, and Jesus comes and fulfills most of the prophecies in here, other than the ones pointing to the very end times. So let's go ahead and we're going to read Isaiah chapter 6. In the year that King Uzziah died, so it's about 740, 760 BC, I saw the Lord sitting on a throne, high and lifted up, and the train of his robe filled the temple. Above it stood seraphim. Each one had 6 wings. With 2 he covered his face, with 2 he covered his feet, and with 2 he flew. And one cried to another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And the posts of the doors were shaken by the voice of them who cried out, and the house was filled with smoke. So I said, Woe to me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. But my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Then one of the seraphim flew to me, having in his hand a live coal, which he had taken with the tongs from the altar. And he touched my mouth with it, and said, Behold, this has touched your lips. Your iniquity is taken away, and your sin purged. Also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then I said, Here am I, send me. And he said, Go and tell this people, keep on hearing, but do not understand. Keep on seeing, but do not perceive. Make the heart of the people dull and their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart and return and be healed. Then I said, Lord, how long? And he answered, Until the cities are laid waste and without inhabitation. The houses are without a man. The land is utterly desolate. The Lord has removed men far away, and the forsaken places are many in the midst of the land. But yet 1/10 will be in it, and will return and be for consuming as a terebinth tree or as an oak, whose stump remains when it is cut down, so the holy seed shall be its stump. May God bless the reading of His word. May God bless you. Bye.